the end of a dark night in the ancient lands of Italy, a quiet and misty morning was dawning. No one knew that a small village, Rome, would one day become the greatest and most feared empire the world had ever seen. But this was not just a simple story of rise and glory. This was a tale of millennia-long struggles, betrayals, assassinations, wars, and power. It was the most vivid proof of how far humanity could go when driven by an insatiable thirst for dominance. Rome was founded on the Palatine Hill in the 8th century BCE. According to legend, Romulus killed his brother Remus and gave the city his own name. But this was not merely a family tragedy. It was the first blood that shaped the Roman spirit. Everything could be sacrificed for power, even a brother's life. The early Roman state was a monarchy. Former Etruscan kings ruled the city. But the last king, Tarquinius Superbus, tested the patience of the people. When his son assaulted the daughter of a Roman nobleman, the people rose up. The girl, Lucretia, took her own life to preserve her honor. That was the final straw for the people. In 509 BCE, the last king, Tarquinius Superbus, was overthrown. The Roman monarchy was abolished. The people no longer wanted to be ruled by a king. They wanted a system they controlled themselves. Thus, the Republic was born. The Republican period marked the beginning of an unending struggle between the common people and the aristocracy. The patricians, the Roman nobility, held all the power. The plebeians, the ordinary citizens, fought for voting rights, land, and legal equality. Sometimes this struggle erupted into armed conflicts, sometimes into political crises. But with every crisis, Roman society grew tougher, stronger, and wiser. During this time, Rome expanded, not only internally, but externally. They first conquered the Italian peninsula. Then came one of history's most notable conflicts, the Punic Wars. This was a life and death struggle between Rome and Carthage, fought in 3 phases. The most terrifying enemy was Hannibal. He crossed the Alps with elephants and launched an attack on Italy. It was a true test of human will and ingenuity. In the battles of Trasimene and Cannae, Rome lost tens of thousands of soldiers. Some cities defected to Carthage. Rome could have collapsed, but it did not. Rome lost, retreated, rebuilt, and attacked again. Eventually, Hannibal was recalled and defeated at the Battle of Zama. This victory was more than just military. It was proof of a people's persistence and unyielding resolve. Rome gained dominance over the Western Mediterranean and began evolving into a superpower. But within every empire, the seeds of its own end are hidden. As Rome grew richer, class inequalities deepened. The Gracchus brothers, Tiberius and Gaius, who fought for land reform, were murdered by the Senate. Rome had become a golden mask, shiny and attractive on the outside, but rotten within. Eventually, military commanders began to seize political power. The Republic was heading toward collapse. In the midst of this chaos, one name rose: Gaius Julius Caesar. His campaigns in Gaul increased his military skill, wealth, and influence. The Roman Senate became fearful. They ordered Caesar to disband his army and return to Rome unarmed. But Caesar crossed the Rubicon River. It was a point of no return. His words became immortal. The die is cast. A civil war broke out. Caesar emerged victorious, but he did not declare himself emperor. Instead, he named himself dictator for life. This was unacceptable to the Republicans. In March of 44 BCE, he was stabbed 23 times in the Senate Hall. Among the attackers was his close friend Brutus. Caesar's final words are among history's most dramatic. "You too, Brutus." And with that, he closed his eyes forever. Caesar's death did not bring peace to Rome. It brought chaos. new civil wars erupted. Eventually, Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, emerged as the victor. He changed his name to Augustus and became the first emperor. Rome was now an empire. The Senate still existed, but its decisions were overshadowed by Augustus. During Augustus's reign, Rome flourished. The period of Pax Romana, the Roman peace, began. It lasted for nearly 200 years of relative stability. But behind this stability lay a strong military, a strict taxation system, and political maneuvering. Roman roads were built for military use. Aqueducts, amphitheaters, and forums were constructed. Gladiator games were not just entertainment. They were part of a bread and circuses policy to control the masses. But nothing lasts forever. From the 3rd century onward, Rome began to weaken. Political stability collapsed. In some years, several emperors came and went. Armies crowned and then overthrew emperors. External invasions increased. Goths, Huns, and Vandals threatened the empire's borders. In 284, Emperor Diocletian came to power. He divided the empire into 4 parts to make governance easier. Later came Constantine, who officially recognized Christianity. The Roman gods were being abandoned, and a new belief, Christianity, was rising. Constantine also built a new capital, Constantinople. The future of the Roman Empire would now be written from there. Meanwhile, the Western Roman Empire continued to decline. In 410, the Visigoths entered the city of Rome. For the first time in centuries, the undefeated city was plundered. The people were shaken. Rome was no longer invincible. In 455, the Vandals looted the city again. Finally, in 476, the Germanic general Odoacer deposed the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus. The Western Roman Empire was erased from history, but Rome did not disappear. Its legacy continued in the Byzantine Empire. More importantly, Rome lived on in the cultural, legal, and political systems of Europe. Its roads still run beneath the foundations of modern cities. Its legal principles endure in modern law. Its language, Latin, became the language of science, medicine, and law. Rome was not just an empire of power. It was the story of how human will, intellect, and desire can rise to greatness and then collapse. Rome is humanity's most glorious and most terrifying face, and it still watches us. In history books, in court systems, in architecture, in language, and in morals, Rome still lives, because Rome is not a city. It is an idea, an immortal idea.